Hey, everybody, it's Michael. I want to do a little bit of an intro because I interviewed a friend, Brandon, and his partner, David, about a project they're working on called NFTG, which is a three-pronged approach to NFTs for the next generation. Normally I don't do intros, but this time, man, I was just dense on this interview. I was not my brain was not firing like it normally is. So I'm asking questions. I wasn't connecting the difference between an NFT and a token. Come on, dude. So I want to apologize to everybody for that. When you get to that point, just realize that's me, honestly, just like not having a lot of sleep for a couple days. And also, I didn't introduce them at the beginning. Just part of the brain fart. Brandon's a friend of mine. We've known each other for a few years. Played golf. Great guy. He's been in the NFT. He's been in the crypto space for almost a decade. These guys are not just people I'm bringing on to shill. They're serious people, and they tell you that at the end of the interview when I finally realize, oh wow, I didn't have them tell anything about themselves. So I kind of wish I could go back and do it again, but they're busy and I don't, the rest of it's fine. Just when you're listening, realize these people know what they're talking about. They've been in the space for a while. They're serious people. And other than that, if you would like to donate to the show, which would be astronomically helpful, I've been told that I don't ever tell people that links to support the show, crypto links, are in the show notes. I'm terrible about self-promoting and asking for financial help to keep the show going. A couple of people have been supporting the show through Patreon, and I am so thankful for that. But other people were like, "Hey, it's a crypto podcast. We'd like to donate in crypto." And I said, "Oh yeah, the links have always been there. I've just never told anybody." So if you'd like to donate to the show and help, I'd like to do a couple different projects related to the show in the future, and that would really, really help. Links in the in the show notes for Nano, for Banano, for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for Coinbase, for whatever. There's a bunch of stuff there. So thank you for your support. These last couple of years. It means a lot, and let's get to the interview. Thanks. Hey everybody, it's Michael. Keyword Crypto, keeping it real, being curious, and try not to get scammed along the way. Doing a thing about NFTs over the next month, and I had some friends who asked if they could come on and talk about a new project they are working on called NFT Gallery. So welcome, guys. Why don't you explain it? Who wants to go first? Brandon or David?
I can kick it to David on this one.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks, guys. Great to be on the show. Thanks for having us. My name's David. I go by Legendary D. You'll see my avatar on NFTG.live. But basically, we're on a mission to build a decentralized marketplace that is really focused on the community and features that really are about user experience over really just the one person winner take all mentality we've kind of seen on a lot of NFT marketplaces thus far. So to get us there, we've followed the fair launch model to be able to avoid creating whales, to avoid venture capital, to avoid just early investors, so that really the contributors to the project are able to launch this. And in order to bootstrap liquidity, we've really focused on the NFT PFP, which is the profile picture NFT space. And we've designed a membership for our platform, for our club, that gives access to private channels on Discord, additional benefits on the platform. But really, it's a membership to a community just full of knowledge that wants to share like how things are built, like why we're doing things. And we're really following the the DAO model to really have a decentralized autonomous organization where people can contribute to earn. And, we've been accumulating this knowledge base, I would say, since, a variety of the team, people just different entry points in crypto, but all of them, I think, previous to 2016. So we've seen everything from ICOs to, the DeFi summer to, profile picture NFTs and, kind of now bundling this up into a cohesive ecosystem for people just to fundamentally contribute to earn. So hopefully not too technical, but yeah, it's a series of dominoes, right? And now we're just in phase 1 of phase 3.
So what is so you're selling a token for membership. What do I actually get when I pay for it?
So the memberships themselves are non-fungible tokens. They're unique. It's a membership, much like Costco. Like you buy it, and you're able to go into the facility, and you're able to access certain deals. So we decided, since we have a wealth of knowledge, this membership is really a membership to our club, and this enables us to bootstrap liquidity in a fair launch model. But then the benefits that we'd be providing include commissioned NFT collections that we have available from bounties. So right now we have 2 different artists working on 2 different collections. Our members would be able to mint those NFTs at their leisure, only paying the gas. So think of it like you walk into Costco, you showed your membership card, and sitting there are all of these profile picture NFTs collections that you're able to mint. And because you're a member, there's one reserved for you. So instead of having almost like that toilet paper situation, right, in COVID, where toilet paper ran out, in this case, no FOMO. Your membership equals one spot in line for that collection specifically. So, and then that collection is a randomly generated profile picture collection that has provable rarities and comes with like a narrative and a story from the artist. And it's a way for our members to be able to participate, but then not necessarily have to fear of missing out on some of these collections. And the goal is not to necessarily flood or just have like the next one of us on the team just draw a bunch of stuff and just say, oh, here's a collection and here's all our members, you get something. We're really aiming for higher quality. So that's why, we're able to offer bounties to pay artists a very handsome commission to support them, as an artist coming from the community, but then they're providing the assets for us to programmatically generate rarities in a collection that each member has, random odds of, or just like not random odds, but like it's the same equal chance to be able to mint from that collection, so that it's once you open the pack, you can see what it reveals. So
Yeah, I think
you're not paying anything for that. It's really just paying the gas because he's, I believe, will be on Ethereum. So
Now, so Brandon, you were about to say something?
Yeah, so I was saying, this is Brandon Esky here. For us, we really want to hinge on and focus on the storytelling elements, right? So we looked around at a lot of these different NFT projects, a lot of these different exchange projects, DeFi space, right? But we really feel that we had a chance from a technological angle, along with the storytelling angle, right? We think that the stories that go along with a lot of these different art pieces, the history, the rich history of a lot of these different artists, musicians, whoever it is, creators, right? Creators all kind of get into the space, really kind of like painting through their experiences. So, as opposed to having just more of these generic stock images and these kind of useless JPEGs, for us, like we want to kind of take things a step further and really kind of create this experiential access for the different memberships.
So if I'm buying, so you have 10,000 membership to NFTs. Did I look at that right? Did I say that?
Correct.
Did I remember that?
There's a max. Yeah, there's a max supply of 10,000
So-
memberships that we'll offer.
my main question is, let's say somebody does a generative 10,000 PFP project and you have 10,000 people who own the tokens. Does that mean that does that mean that everyone's getting it for free essentially?
Everyone would be able to mint at cost. So they would not pay additional. They would just pay the gas fees for minting, and they could do that any time of day that they want. So it's basically one membership is a spot in line for that collection. So
So then,
the
sorry.
reason why we're capping is to really match, the max supply of these, these known collections like Bored Ape Yacht Club, Crypto Punks. They all have 10,000. So that's kind of setting the standard. So we figured a 10,000 membership would be a really nice community to be able to work with, and over time add additional benefits and access. And really the membership is a utility access, right? It's giving saving a spot in line.
So I guess, okay. So my question is: normally, an artist or a group of artists would create like a 10,000 run and put it up for like 0.1 or 0.05 or whatever they charge, and then people
Correct.
would ape in and then start listing everything on OpenSea, and that's when like things would start to go crazy. So what you're saying is the artist doesn't get anything because everyone's getting it for free essentially. If you sell out on all 10,000 and they do a 10,000 run, the
I
artist.
see.
So are
Yeah.
you paying the artist essentially
Correct.
with
Yep.
the funds generated from the membership token?
Correct. It's the some of the proceeds that we're using from the memberships will be to have early bounties. The first one we have open actually is a $100,000 bounty, open to our community to vote and nominate um, on their favorite artist and we're looking for an artist to accept, to work with us, accept the 100,000 to create, roughly 120 individual assets that we as engineers would be able to randomize and work with them and collaborate. We also have a current collection being done with a partner that we've partnered early on with. So um, for them, everyone, the artist would be getting paid, and then each bounty would more than likely be different. So as we are able to not just have the collections, part of our roadmap is to be able to bootstrap the yield farm. And once the yield farm is open, we would like to be able to have um, more bounties be available, made possible from the um, the yield farm itself.
So the yield farm is phase 2. So tell
Correct.
me how. Um, so that's essential. So how is that going to work? Because eventually, if you didn't have phase 2, the membership income, the membership ETH would run out, and you wouldn't be able to pay artists anymore. And then you'd have a bunch of people with. So how are you generating income from the yield farm in phase 2?
The yield farm itself,
Yeah.
we have, so the dev fund itself is the same. We forked sushi, so it's 90% to the community and 10% to the developers. So for every 10 NFTG that are earned or mined through the yield farm, one is deposited to developer fund. So from there, we would be able to also have the ability to create bounties.
So I guess this is where this idea is over my head, or this is where I kind of get lost because I'm
Sure.
not 100% sure how yield farms work. Are you saying they're working with the NFTs?
No, no. So they're separate, right? So it's not, the membership does not get you yield farm anything. The what it does is it enables the community to have other products be developed, which we already have developed, but just opening to launch. So previous to this, we turned down $600,000 privately to put in as liquidity to open the farm. And we thought that just really wasn't a fair launch model as much as we'd like to follow that, and why we, went with the 90-10 split. So other things like other platforms and other NFT marketplaces, they call themselves a fair launch by giving, I think 50 or 55% to the community. And then they split up their venture capital investment across, 3 to 4 different groupings that they've named. But, I think the way we've designed this is really just for the community. So 90% to the community to be farmed, 10 to the developer fund to continue protocol development and future bounties and those sort of things to really build a community, a thriving decentralized community where everyone's contributing. I'm not even the boss, of that. It's more of there's a community there that's working and building, and it's a train in motion that anyone can get off of, and it would still keep going, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I would say it's more of a it's more of a consortium, right? Like we've got a lot of amazing engineering on our team. Most of us come and from a lot of different spaces, from the music, arts, technology, design space. So for us, we looked at a lot of the available technologies and just tried to piece it all together and see kind of how it could work together. So again, this is kind of the first of its kind. We've been break testing and going through the iterations of the engineering of it. So now we've just opened up these memberships to essentially help crowdfund and crowdsource the platform. But ultimately, we are trying to build, and our goal is to build this consortium of artists, creatives, musicians, screenwriters, whoever it is, that see the value in this project, even if they don't fully understand a lot of the fundamental technologies that are going into it. It really is a mashup, right? I call it like the beautiful Frankenstein, where we've taken really the best of all these different worlds that you're seeing emerging in kind of these different areas, right? We've got this membership, NFT, profile picture, PFP up front. Then we've got, basically the liquidity pool and liquidity provider farms and yield farm in the middle, which is able to generate the NFTG token itself, not for sale. You can only earn it through essentially providing liquidity there. And then we've really got the decentralized auction house behind it, where there's community governance, a lot of community and consortium engagement in terms of what from the start, what that community looks like, what the auction house will function as, and giving people a voice in this system that is traditionally a lot of just venture capital and billionaires and Winklevosses and Brian Armstrong. So.
Gotcha. And so just to clarify one, because like I said, this part's still over my head because I see other NFTs thinking about doing something similar where when you say providing liquidity on a fork of SushiSwap, what liquidity are they providing? Like ETH to sushi liquidity pair, and then farming that, and then like what's the reward?
So we forked Sushi's smart contracts for token distribution model. And then we also looked at bao.finance. And, we looked at their vesting schedule, really the 1 year lockup, the 3 year distribution equally each month thereafter. And we thought a lot of those things were great mechanisms, but, crypto is 24/7. And what they modeled off after more traditional Web 2 companies where it's 9 to 5 and they close. So what we've developed now, people use at their own risk because it's currently unaudited. It's an experiment. And the way that it's built now, it's on Polygon, so it's not on Ethereum. If we did, transactions $89 to harvest even $7, right? Yeah. And to do that daily just would make no sense. So people can go to QuickSwap, which is where a lot of liquidity is for Matic, and you'd be able to have different pairings from Ethereum Matic to Link Matic, or I think it's Ethereum USDC. I think we're opening. We have 10 pools planned to be open once we hit the 20% mark at our memberships, and I think we're just getting close to that. So we're pretty excited, that with that milestone, we're able to activate certain things as a community, and people will be able to stake those two pairs, get the LP token from QuickSwap, bring it to NFTG.live. They'll be able to stake that LP token and earn NFTG. So it's the native token for the platform that will also be rolling out in phase 3. So really it's a membership program in phase 1 so that we can activate a yield farm in phase 2 and then have a marketplace that's really built around user experience and for the community in phase 3. So we've kind of set them up as a series of dominoes to kind of roll one into the next by allowing it to, this all started with just a conversation of like, hey, what about, a decentralized marketplace? What would that look like? How does one do that? And telling a bunch of people and, just having a Discord forum and that conversation starting into people just, contributing, for the most part, volunteering and coming together around an idea. And these were all the mechanisms we thought to make it safe, or a check and balance, or to follow the best methodology, which was more of a fair launch model, opposed to just going and raising some money with a small group of people and then having access, instant liquidity to these tokens to then dump on networks and do nefarious things. I know a lot of the people that have contributed really look at this thing as where they want to put a lot of time in for a majority of their careers. So it's that's why it's, I think, over architected and over engineered, but it was more just to be incrementally the plan. So then that way, the vision's laid out. Now it just comes down to participation, and if the community wants to participate, then the community has built the tools to get started.
Yeah, and on this point, really quickly, I'll say, in this fusion of these different technologies, we've tried to look at it from a lot of different angles, right? From the onset phase 1, you've got this membership access, which will grant you, this spot in line to reserving future PFPs and NFT collections.
There's other utility access as well. I think we forgot about that, Brandon. Mm-hmm. Sorry to interrupt you, but also, when in the marketplace as a member, you'll be able to be featured. So, and additionally, in the meantime, you can also, with your membership, immediately get access to our private Discord channels to speak with other members and vote on who to commission and, pay the bounties. So that's all done by governance as well.
Nice. What were you saying, Brandon?
But yeah. No, sorry. I was just saying that there's a lot of different things for, I don't want to say everyone, but, people in the DeFi space. We've got a lot of these liquidity pools and liquidity pairings and the farm that you can earn the NFTG and the token itself. We've got the decentralized auction house, where if you want to come in and you're a collector, purchaser, buyer, creator in terms of selling NFTs on the marketplace, you can do that as well. If you just feel like holding the token and earning it through the farm, like, you can do that as well, right? We've got this token buyback model that should benefit the community. We've got kind of, again, something for everyone, but, a lot of these people that are in these different spaces, from DeFi to NFTs to the collectors, curators of these traditional galleries, this will seem very familiar to them. I know that when we talk about it from these different angles and try to explain it all in this big totem pole of technology, for us, we're just trying to make things very clear. We're doing a lot of instructional videos. We'll be doing more and more kind of outreach to help people understand. I mean, primarily, we look at ourselves as educators. From our experience on our team, we've had a lot of people that have been through, like David had mentioned, been through these different crypto winners, seen the boom and bust of these different crypto economies at scale. And we just felt that we had this opportunity to kind of do it better and make it cohesive.
Gotcha. So you said there's 10,000 total, but if they're farming, let's say all 10,000 get sold before the farming starts, what are they actually farming at that point?
So the 10,000 people are not farming anything. The 10,000 members.
No,
Um,
I'm saying if I buy an NFG token or an NFTG token, and then and you sell all 10,000 of them, what are other people farming? Because you said they're
but
they're
that's
they're
no,
farming the
that's
tokens.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to distinguish the two. So there's memberships, which is an NFT, and then for yield farming, there's like LP tokens that you or from liquidity that you staked, right, which are individual assets like Ethereum and Matic. But the only way to farm is to use LP tokens. Your membership is nothing to do with farming.
So
The
I
the
just want to make
membership
sure.
is
So one is an
completely separate.
NFT and one is a token, essentially,
So
like
the
an
token,
ERC20 token.
So okay, so check this out. Check this out. The membership itself is an Ethereum ERC 721. It's a non-fungible token. That's on Ethereum. The yield farm is on Polygon, and you will be earning an ERC20 token that is named NFTG. That's the ticker. But as far as the correlation between the two, they're just in the same ecosystem, but they're not enabling one or the other for either member or farmer.
No,
So
I just wanted to
someone that's
clarify because some people were
yeah,
were talking about farming and the reward was NFTs. I just wanted to make sure those are
for
two
sure. Yeah, no,
different
definitely not.
things. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
When you
So
farm, you're only earning the native token. With just very similar tokenomics, to Sushi and Bao, except we shortened from 1 year to 9 months and from 3 years to 27 months because crypto moves fast. So
yeah. So talk to me about from an artist standpoint. You said you could have screenwriters, um, digital artists, photographers. What like are you looking? You're looking at any medium, any artistic
yeah.
medium. So what? So let's say somebody's not in NFTs at all, is not in crypto at all. What's the sales pitch to get, let's say, a screenwriter to join this and to become a part of this ecosystem?
Um, so a screenwriter is an interesting one because there's a lot of content there that they'd be exchanging. So if we have to understand the service, right? So maybe if they're well known or if they're not so well known, they could even just offer writing as a service and to package it up and to say, okay, here is a NFT that is um, 10,000 words. Here's one that's 50,000 words. Here's one, 150,000 words. And they have descriptions on each saying, roughly, these are the kind of topics we can get into, the length of what to expect, type of research, that kind of stuff. And that's why they're at different price levels.
well,
If someone,
I would add
if someone,
real quick, David. So I think on that point,
go
like
ahead.
the screenwriters I've been talking to, for instance, one of my friends is
I was going to explain about the split because then it's
oh, yeah, we
the
can go to, okay, we can go to that.
yeah, because then I think why the screenwriter would do that is because um, traditionally, like let's say they go to any other marketplace right now, um, they try and sell it. They make some money on it. The platform makes some money on it. Their fans just see them sell something to some high bidder, and they're not able to really participate, right? So our marketplace really is built by a community, and most of those people, NFTs really can only be owned really for the most part by one person. Yeah, sure, a DAO, can set it up and fractionalize it, sure, but it's not easy to move things fastly, in a fast manner, around. So um, by being able to have the NFTG token, it allows even fans to participate by being able to participate with that token, opposed to always having to just kind of sit on the sideline and not have anything to participate with. So we feel it's a win-win to be able to have a buyback model where the platform itself is buying back its native token on decentralized exchanges from each sale. So then that way fans can cheer on their artist. The screenwriter in this case not just sells the NFT for themselves, but really is championed by the crowd and the community, their fans. So
I
it's
guess I'm a little confused about the screenwriting aspect. So, like, let's say I have a script,
yep.
and am I fractionalizing it, or am I just selling it as one NFT?
I mean, it's up to the thing is we're not selling fractionals or doing anything like that. We're actually more focused on like physical assets. I would say so.
Well, so we do digitals, right? So that's really the intersection of these physical scripts in this particular instance with either its digital counterpart. We're in this instance we're kind of removing a lot of intermediaries, right? Like in Hollywood, these scripts get passed around office to office. Maybe nobody picks it up. You hear about all these different movies that are now coming to light where these things were found in a bin somewhere at Warner Brothers, studios. For them, it gives them a lot of exposure on the platform, right? Even having subcategories for different digitals. So for this instance, like they could sell the entire manuscript. It really depends on the creator's preference of how they want to go about it. But we're saying that it is possible to do like screenwriting or script writing as an NFT, or to sell their physical manuscripts or digital manuscripts on the platform as well.
It's just we're not focused on just manuscript writers and stuff. That's just one, I would say, of many type of creators that we've been speaking with and talking to understand how to get them more so into this digital economy, so that it's not just graphic designers, but people that are also creators, but have different mediums.
I latched onto that just because it's a digital medium, but at the end of the day, it's like a physical medium. It's a physical script that someone's holding, even though it's also digital. So that's kind of the reason why that one interested me to talk about that. But also, it's like, let's just say a sculptor. Like, what does a sculptor do? Do they like take a picture of it? Do they like, how does that work?
No, they sell their sculpture, and then it's for us. Our background in NFTs comes more from realitems.io. It's an enterprise, blockchain solution for asset traceability, and each asset's backed by an NFT. So having that type of background, bringing it into this product, into this community, is going to be kind of the focus, I would say, more so than just digital art, which we've seen a lot, and it's getting, there's already quite a few players established, but for physical things inclusive, and to kind of focus on that type of user and experience hasn't really been focused on.
I think what we're trying to describe here is like there's no real difference between physical objects and then digital, call them NFTs, call them 3D prints, call them, whatever medium there is for that artist. It's up to the individual creator, whether that's a sculptor, screenwriter, physical or digital, muralist, painter. This is what we're trying to say is that, we're creating a consortium of creatives that if they want to sell a physical artwork and then match that with a digital twin or its digital counterpart, or upgraded VIP meet and greet experiences where you get to come into their art exhibit or their painting studio and sit down for 3 hours with them and discuss whatever that is that they're painting. For us, this isn't just pigeonholing into just being a screenwriter or just sculptor or physical painter. There's no difference in terms of the physical objects with their digital counterpart or digital objects with their physical counterpart, whether they want to do stickers or magnets or 3D printed, micro effigies of that physical sculpture, right? Whatever that is, it's up to the creator to basically decide.
So, what if, like, let's say I have like a stick figure drawing or whatever and I put it up on your site. Who am I trying to sell it to? Am I trying to sell it to somebody in the community that's also on the site, or am I like, let's just say a script? It makes it easier. Or am I actually trying to pitch it to producers in Hollywood and say, this is where you buy it? Like what's the actual step by step for an artist, just to help artists wrap their head around what being part of the community entails and how to use the actual platform.
Yeah, so it's I think physical products, right? So first starting with retail items, we have some luxury designers that we're working with as well. That I think once we see that come to life, it'll make a whole lot more sense. But I think a lot of the day-to-day commerce right now is for physical things, and to be able to have that provability and with rarities in the same way. If you look at Supreme, you look at a lot of streetwear companies, they've already proven that, StockX inclusive. So I think bridging that and focusing really on those type of consumers that are not necessarily super crypto native, but would definitely like to have some of the neat features, that blockchain brings, from trust, traceability, being able to execute transactions faster. So, yeah, I think that's why they would come to the platform, because you're just not going to get that same focus in other NFT marketplaces, and it's really kind of boxed out a lot of other type of creators where they just see this as speculative Wall Street behavior for JPEGs, and they don't understand what's going on. So I think, if you start doing that with shoes, like with like designers and handbags and backpacks and hats and sunglasses and all these different things that people love to have and go out wearing, and that just makes more sense, So everyone in crypto is going virtual. We're trying to go physical into the actual in real life,
Yeah, because eventually we have to incorporate it into the physical world if it's going to be a serious thing.
Yeah.
So what are you hoping for? What's your end goal ultimately? In a perfect world, what would be the end goal for the community and the artist and how they interact with each other?
In the end, or in a perfect world, when we launch our platform in phase 3, we will have the community be able to cheer on an artist and say, yes, go get a $10 million NFT sale. We want you to have that massive, massive win, because the current way we've broken it down is 90% goes to the creator, 10% goes to buying back the native token to lock up into balancer pool and, put pressure, I guess, on the token itself, but then be able to earn as a platform off the yield of locking it up versus just taking it from the creator itself. So we think in that way, NFTG token holders, will be able to champion these type of artists to do the best they can with their art and to help tell their story. And if that's a $10 million sale, that means it's a $1 million transaction going to QuickSwap to buy back a token, and let that type of impact drive. And so that's pretty much where we're seeing how this is much different than traditional ways.
I think long term as well, we'd love to be known as the people who kind of brought people into this new space, right? Like, we don't necessarily shy away from people who say, like, I'm a traditional painter or sculptor or whatever it is. Like, we would love to be the platform and the go-to destination for a lot of people breaking into it and trying to learn more and trying to wrap their minds around all these different complexities of how quickly the cryptocurrencies and blockchains have evolved. For us, again, we look at ourselves primarily as educators. We love people coming to us and saying, I don't know anything about this, right? Like, what can we even do with this system, with this platform, with this ecosystem? And the reality is like, there's a lot, right? So for us, like, we want to be a value add to these different creator communities, and offer them the opportunity to kind of have their work be seen by a digital audience and a physical audience, and to be that conduit from these like more traditional art worlds who have never considered maybe doing NFTs before, and making that a very smooth transition and easy process for them.
Gotcha. One of you mentioned, I'm just absolutely completely blanking out what I was going to ask. When, what do you see as the current pitfalls that are stopping a lot of artists and just regular people from getting in, that you guys can, that this is going to help bridge?
One, I think just it's really been focused on um, digital art, more like in the animated side of things, or in the super, um, what's like driven by rarities, so that it's really almost like a numbers game to those crowds. Um, but I think really helping all artists kind of look at NFTs as a way to protect their artwork, to ensure that they get proper royalties, in return for secondary sales. I think a lot of physical artists, as they sell sculptures, they would love to get some sort of secondary sale contribution. And then to really have a demand for secondary sale buyers, in the physical real world. Why would they want to pay the artist, a commission just to buy it off? Like part of that, why would they want that? And, through the digital experience, you can incentivize them to be more connected to the art by just being connected to the artists themselves. So, yeah, I think having that as a starting point, opposed to just seeing kind of the influx of bedroom designers throwing up JPEGs that is everything based on food or animals, or something like that, right? That's not really breaking the mold anymore. It's really just kind of regurgitating the same uh, path, so that they can ape in and then be able to ape out and dump, and then figure out, like, let them figure it out for the next path. I think for us, it's really the community to have all these different things that we've always wanted to have, and by connecting them in the ways that they are, it really supports growth for the community, and unlocks access for a lot of utility, so that people can benefit from having that utility access. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like three key barrier to entries right now that a lot of people are seeing in space, right? So, primarily there's a knowledge gap, right, where people don't understand it enough to even like dip their toes in, or even start experimenting with it. The reason for that is the financial costs right now, right? So you got the knowledge gaps, you've got the financial, the cost that can be very daunting. On the Ethereum network right now, it can cost upwards of $400 or $1,000 just to put your artwork up for sale. And then you've got the technology, right? So there's a technological, knowledge base, and then financial. So those are kind of three key pitfalls that you were asking about. And I think that our platform solves all three, right? We're educating them to break through that knowledge barrier, so they're comfortable with the technology. Once they understand the knowledge and the technology, then because of our low cost platform, because of all those things that we've outlined in this kind of talk here about all these benefits we give to the creator, I think that those three, the knowledge base, technological base, and the financial barriers, I think our platform, ideally, once fully fleshed out and fully launched, will solve all three.
Nice. What is there anything specific you wanted to discuss that I haven't asked you about?
No, I think we covered a lot of bases, right? For us, it was just like we saw an opportunity to kind of build the first of its kind triple threat like this, right? Again, the beautiful Frankenstein thing, like we come from that heavy engineering background, so we wanted to ensure that we could do it. And now that we found out we can, now it's just kind of raising community awareness and expressing the importance of this and why it exists and who we are, and what the benefits are. I think that we've just been talking a lot of technicalities, but at the end of the day, is we're creators, and we want to create a welcoming community for people that are looking at their first NFT, or creating, or buying, or just even considering getting into the space. We want to be kind of that invitation that a lot of people are looking for now.
So who do you foresee being the people who buy the token up front? Buying the
So
NFT
we
up
actually,
front?
I can actually explain just a few people that have. It's actually been really awesome to hear their stories. Um, we have town hall meetings daily in our Discord. So, I think we have over 1,200 members now, which is amazing, for just really launching it and opening it up. But having those town hall meetings, we, tell everyone what we've got on the plate, what we've got planned, what we're thinking to curate some help, even from other people. Um, but this person stepped up and was like, "Hey, just wanted to say hi. Wanted to let you guys know you're the first NFT I ever bought. I heard you guys on Clubhouse, and I've always been on the fence, and a lot of this stuff didn't make sense, but I really enjoyed just hearing you guys talk about these things, explain it." And he's like, "I want in." He just wants to participate. He wants to get knowledge. He wants to. It's a growing industry. If you look at Bored Ape Yacht Club, when was that created? It was this year. We're still like months, and now it's accumulated so much value and so much adoption and utility use from using the profile picture. That's one thing I don't think we mentioned. Actually, you get the IP, so it's like you're able to use that in creative ways. You could put on merchandise and sell it and make money. So now that people are seeing this way of developing characters and allowing the community to purchase, the IP to those characters for the most part, and be able to, do as they please. And as they do, it builds the audience and network effect of getting the visibility for those assets. So, yeah, it's just people that are buying our memberships are people that, um, want access, one, to this NFT world. So we're trying to create systems and ways for them to learn by, having the ability to not feel rushed, in a lot of these things where it's like FOMO is what's driving some of this stuff. And we thought of a creative way where we can still drive value, right? So now when we have these $100,000 bounties and we pay someone to create something, that 100,000 could be donated to a charity of their choice. It could be someone big, it could be someone that's not not even an artist. If we could get, let's say, Oprah or um, I don't know, someone non-political, I would say, to be able to draw something like that would be super cool, and be able to help another organization out at the same time. So I mean, like we already kind of are doing that with Beneath the Waves, giving them 50,000 and giving this other artist another 50,000 to kind of collaborate on one of our first ones, so that we were able to select that for our community first as like the first gift, for members. But the next one will be based on community engagement, based on them nominating, based on them voting and having governance over how to allocate that. And in doing so, it just builds the narrative. So people that want to participate in any part of that, I would say, should be getting the memberships. But people that are speculative, people that are looking to, let's say, buy something and dump it in a week, or so that they can like have maximum gains. We're not here to give trading advice or speculative or create speculative things like that. We've really focused on value, so that we have a club. We'd love for people to join it. At the very front of the door, you can get into the Discord, but to get into the awesome discussions, you have to have a membership. And unlike Costco's, ours is an NFT. So you can buy and trade it and sell it if necessary. So um, you know, we encourage people to participate, and hopefully they can, hang on to it so it continues to have their access in the community. But things happen. So,
Yeah, we're more planning for the long term, right? So a lot of this, so what we're saying is combining these two spaces, right? With the NFTs and the PFPs and DeFi, it's like there's a lot of different things to learn. But we encourage people who see the value, who see the vision, who want to be a part of something long term. in terms of this artist consortium or the creative community or even just the NFTG community. There's a lot of different value that we're rolling out across each of these different phases. So for us, it's like we just welcome anybody who's inquisitive, who's curious, who wants to learn more. We look at ourselves as really kind of being a pioneer in this space.
And I feel I kind of feel like a dick because if people listeners, I've known Brandon for like 3 years now, and we play golf every once in a while, and I just completely forgot to be like, hey, tell people how you've been in the space, and like so they just don't think you guys are like some random dudes saying, hey, we want to provide value to the space, and like these guys have been around for a pretty long time in the space. Do you guys want to do like a quick like 5-minute bio or like 2-minute bio just so people know that you're legit?
Sure. Go ahead, Brandon. Let's see if you can keep it to 2 or 5 minutes, or let's see 2 minutes. 2 minutes should be good. Then we don't get into a rabbit hole.
Yeah, this will be a little treat for anybody who made it this far in. But I got my background in crypto almost a decade ago. I was a contractor at the Securities and Exchange Commission, and I had found and heard about Bitcoin back in my undergrad days, but I didn't really start kind of messing around with it, experimenting with it until about 2012, end of 2012, into 2013. And there was no ecosystem. There was no Investopedia or Crypto Panic or any of these databases and treasure troves of information out there. So you kind of had to learn the hard way on a lot of these peer-to-peer chats and like all this dark web stuff. And it was just a fascinating industry. So, while I was there and working working at Akamai Technologies, working actually with the SEC and NASA, I kind of fell out of love with the cybersecurity analytics space and decided to go full-time into blockchain projects. So, end of 2015, start of 2016, before the big bull run that everybody remembers, I just started kind of trying to feel it out, understood that, I know I was still early, but I saw the vision in blockchain. I having worked at these big governmental agencies, the technology was so outdated. Dealing with cryptocurrencies and blockchains and Bitcoin and Ethereum at the time, like it just felt very like 2030. So I was enchanted by it. So, I kind of stepped away from the traditional 3-letter agency space and went full-time into cryptocurrencies. And since then, I've worked with a variety of different industries, from gaming to sports to NFTs for a long time, back when we were calling them virtual stakes, and all types of digital certificates and all these different things. But being ahead of it now, you can see that it's really inundated and become almost household names, if not NFTs and DeFi, but Bitcoin certainly has. So, I saw the value early in this, and, I've been working with the engineering teams, development teams, product design teams for almost the last 6.5 years now, building blockchain projects. And this is kind of the culmination of all of that, really partnering with David and his experience with Real Items. So I'll let David take it from here.
Nice. So I'm more of a hacker from the Bay Area. I kind of self-taught myself how to program, just going to hackathons. Previous to that, though, I did write a patent. So I'm a patented designer. I patented light up sunglasses, sold them with Insomniac at music festivals and raves around the world. And that's how I learned firsthand intellectual property theft, which gave me really a lot of experience in the international supply chain. And when I discovered Ethereum at $10, I was like, okay, digital money, not sure why I need it. And then I came back and I was like, oh, wow, okay, $120. What happened? Why is this digital money going up? Why didn't I, what did I miss? Because clearly it was something. So since then, I've just been super focused on building stuff, attending, blockchain hackathons. Most of my team has been built just from meeting people at those blockchain hackathons and them leaving other positions, and then just the timing of everything working out. So I'm the CEO of Real Items.io. So we've really focused on a SaaS platform utilizing NFTs for product serialization, asset traceability. We work with government agencies, retail brands, Our most notable brand right now is doTERRA essential oils. They do $2 billion a year in sales as a private company, and to be able to work with them now with NFTs, I think they're more of further along than most companies right now as far as utilizing this technology. So really bringing that type of experience. We saw what was going on with NFTs earlier this year, and we decided, let's contribute. Let's roll something out with a community as a DAO, and just share our knowledge as much as we can, and see how many other people really want to work on stuff. And yeah, so now we're here with that.
Nice. So how can people get in touch with you? How can people get the token? How can people become a part of what you guys are
Cool.
doing?
So yeah, they can definitely check us out on NFTG.live. They'll be able to see our Discord links, find our Twitter. If they want to nominate artists for the $100,000 bounty, they can do that. If they're interested to grab a membership, you can grab one, I think, on our website while they are remaining. Once we hit 10,000 sold, there'll be no more minted, and you'd have to go to a secondary sale. And definitely check out our Discord, right? That's where the community's at. That's where we have daily rituals. We do Twitter raids. We go on adventures together, and we have tons and tons of channels that have different topics, so that really, if you're looking to learn something, we're looking to work with people, and also just kind of build a very vibrant ecosystem around education. So
Yeah, I would say the website, NFTG.live, is probably the easiest. Within that, you can find a lot of different ways to get in touch with us. Or interact with us on Twitter at NFTG.live.
Sweet. And I'll have all that in the show notes, everyone, so don't worry about if you're driving right now. Please don't try to drive and write that down at the same time. All right. Well, any last closing comments before I let you two go?
I would just say we're really excited, right? I mean, we've collectively all been spending years kind of building out all this new NFT technology and digital certificates and gaming applications and all these different things. And I think this is just a really good unison of aligning our skill sets and now creating a community around it. So, we encourage anyone who's listening, whether you think you're a creator or a collector or a contributor or want to learn more about NFTs, PFPs, DeFi, decentralization, DAOs, right? Like there's kind of something for everyone as long as you're interested to learn. And we look at ourselves as educators in the space. And then if you feel like buying a membership and getting involved, we encourage you to do that as well.
Yeah, I think well said there, Brandon. If anything, we look forward to connecting with you, to, seeing you participate in any which way, whether it be membership or visiting one of our socials. But if anything, dig deeper. There's a lot. We do have documentation available as well. And yeah, we're always available to answer questions. So, but yeah, thanks for having us on the show.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. And thanks everybody for listening. Like I said, I'll have everything in the show notes so you can check them out. And see you on the next one. Bye.
Thanks.
See ya.